Hello to everybody who catches this after it's live when it's a recording. I'm going to do my little intro for you if you haven't seen my videos before. Oh, hi, David. How's it going? My name is Kristen, and on this channel, I talk about how to cultivate the healing mindset so you can start living better while you still have severe and chronic fatigue. Right away, I want to make it clear that I'm not saying mindset is the cause for all of your health issues and the only thing you need to heal. It's not. But it's foundational. Having the right mindset in place helps you save more energy every single day. It helps give you a better quality of life starting today. And it helps you save more energy every day so that you can pour more energy and time into discovering your healing journey, into finding exactly what it is your body needs to heal from this. Hi, David. Oh, and hi, Keep It Fresh. Yeah, absolutely. You can ask me questions. That is what we are here for. I do this live streaming Q&A format because it allows us to have a dialogue. It's not just me speaking at you. You can ask questions. I can give you an answer. More questions come up. Sometimes great little conversations happen in the chat panel. And it's how I love to connect with you guys in real time in a dialogue format. I do have a ton of old videos. I have close to 100 videos at this point. I might have actually crossed 100 recently. And most of them are old school, like, let me talk at you for a while. And you can leave comments on those, and I will come and read the comments you leave and answer any questions you have there. So I do welcome you to go back and explore my channel and discover some of the videos that could be helping you today. Whatever you're struggling with, I might have a video on it. Talked about a lot of things. So one thing I've been doing lately that's been kind of fun is I've been giving you a little bit of an update on myself, a little personal update, something I never used to do before, but it just feels nicer, to have a little bit of that back and forth with you guys, because I want you to get to know me like I'm getting to know you. I really appreciate when you share about yourselves. So here I am sharing about myself a little bit. So while you guys are getting your questions all typed up and ready to go, I'm going to share that today is a really, really exciting day for me. Today is the last day at my current job. 2 weeks ago, I put in my notice that I was leaving because I am going on a hiatus. I'm taking 3 to 6 months to not work and to celebrate myself. For the first time, really, I'm celebrating what I've overcome in my life. Last month, 9 years ago, was when my whole health journey started, when my first health crisis began, when I was, well, I guess if it was 9 years ago, I would have been 25. It's a young age to begin to fall severely ill. And for the past 2 years, I've been doing really, really extremely well health-wise. But in my heart, I've been craving just more space to just exist and be, and to celebrate what I've done for myself and to enjoy life for a while. I'm also at a point where I'm fortunate enough to have enough savings, and I feel comfortable dedicating a portion of my savings to this. But yeah, I'm just going to give myself a chance to explore and play and just be for a while, which also means I'm going to get to do a lot more with this channel during that time. And I haven't figured out yet what that looks like. It might mean more live streams. It might mean more than one a week. It might mean I put some effort into marketing this channel so I can spread the word to other people. It could mean I pick up some coaching clients. I'm not really sure, but if you guys have something you'd like to see from me, or if you have any ideas on how I can start sharing this channel with more people, I would love to hear it. I would love for you guys to help me brainstorm what to do with this channel while I have a lot more free time. Cool. All right, let's see. David Graham, there's one symptom you really struggle with that's pretty severe. Your body is constantly freezing, deep bone chills. and the symptom does not improve despite sauna, multiple layers, etc. You're doing emotional healing, good work, as it helped your fatigue and pain, but the chills and low body temperature is so painful. And just to note, your comprehensive thyroid test is normal. All right, David, this is a big one. So I have a few more questions for you. I would like to know what they tested on your comprehensive thyroid panel, because I've seen a lot of doctors define comprehensive thyroid panel differently. Some people say TSH is all you need. Some people say you just need to look at TSH, T3, and T4, but there's actually a lot more thyroid biometrics to look at. So I would like to know what they looked at. And also like to note for you, I have Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, meaning I have autoimmune hypothyroidism, so I'm very familiar with what you're going through. And one thing I've learned is that most doctors use a range of thyroid numbers labeled as what's normal for the population. So what they do to define normal for the population is they take everyone who had blood work done in the past year, and they just kind of average it all out and say, this was the normal range we saw people who had blood work done. And here's why that's a terrible method. Most people getting blood work done are ill, right? How many healthy people are getting blood work done on the regular? Not too many, okay? So what they're doing is they're looking at the normal range of thyroid numbers for people who are mostly ill. And that doesn't correlate necessarily with health, right? So what is beneficial is finding doctors who specialize in thyroid disease like this and having them look over your numbers. Because what they'll do is they'll actually, using scientific studies, they know what's the healthy range of thyroid numbers, not the normal range, but the healthy range. And you might be in the normal range, but outside of that healthy range. So I would highly recommend getting a second opinion from a thyroid specialist, not necessarily an endocrinologist, but somebody who works not necessarily in alternative medicine, but someone who works slightly outside the standard medical establishment. Those are the people I've personally found who are still licensed NDs who have helped me the most, because they have all of the standard medical training, but they're also focused more on health than they are on just what's normal and acceptable. So yeah, first comment, find the right kind of specialist and get a second opinion on those thyroid numbers. Okay, Stop the Thyroid Madness. All right, I'm glad you knew to do that, because Stop the Thyroid Madness is a group, it's a book, and they know what's up with thyroid numbers. So if your labs look normal within that range, then you are doing really well. Good work. The NHS would only basic thyroid, right? So you had to go private, and even that one was normal. It's strange. You know, there's a lot of reasons that our bodies can be at a low basal temperature. I mean, plenty of people without thyroid issues have lower body temperature and struggle with being cold or being too hot. So you think it sounds like Wilson syndrome? Let's see. So the NHS, that's in the UK, right? Yeah, the NHS is in the UK. So I'm in the US. I don't have any UK doctors I can recommend. I haven't worked with any online doctors I could recommend. Unfortunately, you live in Scotland and it's freezing, which makes it even harder for you, right? So unfortunately, I don't have a doctor I can recommend offhand. Let's see here. So you're telling me that like even if you're sitting in a sauna when it's like 120 degrees, you can sit in there for half an hour and your body still feels like it's freezing. Tell me more about the sensation of freezing. Is it that you're cold? Is it that you're shivering? Yeah, tell me more about that sensation. Is this the bad chills a coming symptom of CFS? I wouldn't call that a normal symptom of CFS, but that doesn't mean it's not part of your constellation of symptoms, because that's all CFS is a constellation of symptoms that get lumped under the name of CFS. It is very, very common for people to experience difficulty staying warm or staying cool, depending on the outside temperatures. You get chills in the sauna, like when you're a kid in the snow and then come inside to warm up. It's painful chills feeling. Interesting. Painful chills feeling. Okay. Are you taking your body temperature? Is it registering at, well, it'd be 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what it is in Celsius. Be 37 Celsius. Okay, so you're a little bit low. You're slightly low if you're at 35.9. Let me look at what that is in Fahrenheit. That would be 96.6 Fahrenheit, which is low. That would be 2 degrees lower in Fahrenheit. So not only are you feeling cold, your body is actually running at a lower temperature, which is bad for your health because our certain chemical biological processes in our bodies are dependent on our body being at a certain temperature. That 98.6 isn't just some accident. It actually has to do with optimal health. So it's hard here because you've kind of got like a loop of cause and effect where I'm sure you had some health things going wrong that caused your body temperature to get lower. But now that your body temperature is sitting lower, it's making it harder for parts of your body to function correctly. And it's a really awful feedback loop to be caught into. Now, the chills and low body temperature go away on antibiotics. That's really interesting. Have you shared that with doctors? We're going away on antibiotics. Unfortunately, I don't know it. I don't feel like I know enough about the body sitting at a lower temperature. I know it's not uncommon. I know a lot of people deal with it. I haven't heard of anyone who's addressed the low body temperature directly and healed themselves. What I have heard more of is people discovering that they have some sort of deficiency or they needed some sort of medication. They needed some sort of supplement and that enabled their bodies to start operating at a higher body temperature. Yeah, they don't care. Of course they don't care. I'm sorry to hear that, David. I'm frustrated for you. All right, so let's talk about how much you're sleeping and eating, because not sleeping enough and not eating enough are going to impact your body temperature. I'm assuming what you're going through is not that simple, but like anytime we're troubleshooting something, we want to start with the simplest answers and work up from there instead of assuming it's something worse than that. You tested positive for Lyme, but it is a gray area. Oh, you're hoping to ignore Lyme and just heal the body. Okay, David, I've got to tell you, if you do have Lyme's disease, that absolutely needs to be addressed. That will not go away on its own. Especially if you caught it late. I mean, I'm no Lyme expert. It's not something I've lived with. I've been exposed to a lot about Lyme just from being in like the severe chronic fatigue communities. And early on, before I had a diagnosis, it's definitely something I read up on to see if it applied to me. Okay, so privately. So Lyme testing is really tricky because it's not uncommon to get false negatives, which I'm sure you've read about as well. I don't know that the NHS has different testing processes than private labs. I don't know how that operates in the UK. But if you did get A positive, I would definitely move forward assuming that is something you need to treat. In fact, if you have severe chronic fatigue and Lyme's, like the Lyme's disease could be causing most or all of the chronic fatigue symptoms for you. That would be the biggest and first thing that I would personally work on if I had been diagnosed with Lyme's disease. Okay, same test NHS uses as USA. Yeah, so false negatives are not uncommon from what I've learned. So I wouldn't take that false test as a sign that you don't have it, unfortunately. I've seen it recommended that everyone get tested at least 2 or 3 times because false negatives are so common. You were worried the Lyme docs were just after money. I feel you. I wouldn't necessarily work with a doctor in that case. There is one woman whose work I've been following for, I think, 5, 6, 7 years now, who had Lyme's disease. And I tell you what, this woman had money to throw at Lyme's disease. She went to see all the best doctors. She did all the crazy expensive treatments. She did everything that they tell you to do, and none of it helped her. None of it. None of that crazy expensive stuff helped her. What did help her was a constellation of very basic things: sleep, diet. She's also celiac, so like cutting out gluten was really huge for her. Eating super clean. And the biggest thing that helps her, that she's now teaching other people how to do for themselves, is she used something called bee venom therapy, where literally you keep a hive of live bees. You can keep a small little hive. But she would sting herself with bees on a daily basis in a very specific way, according to a very specific plan. And that is what got her life back from Lyme's disease, because bee venom is so boosting to the immune system. It helps the body reset its response to things. And it also helps the body destroy Lyme's disease. Now, she did need some medical treatments, but I'm not going to speak a whole lot to the specifics. As someone who doesn't have Lyme's disease, I haven't had to go through that treatment. I'm not saying I'm an expert on it, but I have exposed myself to that community a lot. And I've exposed myself to what has worked for that community a lot. And there is only one person I would recommend that you look into. And let me look up her name. I'll put the link in here for you. Here we go. Brooke, I'm not sure how to say her last name, Geehan. Let's see. I'll link you to her About Me page. She's the one person I would follow because I think she does charge, she definitely charges for her courses and teaching people about how to heal themselves from Lyme's disease, because she needs to make a living. She spent all of her money on trying to heal from Lyme's disease. And she does need to make a living if she wants to spend as much time on this. But relatively, this is a low-cost way to heal Lyme's, and this woman is the real deal. Like, I've been following her for 6 years. I've started following her. The reason I feel that she's the real deal here is because I started following her like 6, 7 years ago when she was still very severely ill. And I've been able to watch her go from still being very ill to now having a full life again. And she knows what works for people, and she has been working with others, and she has quite a few success stories in the making already. My own mom was diagnosed with Lyme's disease. It was either like last fall or earlier this year. And, for my own mother, the only thing I recommended that she do is look into what this woman Brooke is doing. So what I'm recommending to you, David Graham, is what I recommended to my own mother. So I hope that means something. All right. Hey, it's okay. I mean, I'm here to talk about, I'm not here to talk just about chronic fatigue syndrome. I'm here to talk about severe chronic fatigue, whatever is causing it, whether it's Lyme's disease, fibromyalgia, lupus, hypothyroidism. Like the healing mindset I talk about here, that I focus on, applies to all of those illnesses. It applies to all causes of living with severe chronic fatigue. So it is not off topic. No apologies necessary. And I mean, Let's see, David. I don't think you were on my live stream the other week when I showed people the red sauna bulbs I used to use. So there's something called infrared light therapy, where you have red light hitting your skin, as much of your skin as possible, and specific wavelengths of red light are super healing to the body. And what they do is the red wavelengths penetrate your skin just enough to get into the mitochondria of your cells. And the red light stimulates additional ATP production. And if I got a fly flying around me, if you're not familiar with what ATP is how our bodies produce energy. It is energy to our bodies. The more ATP our cells, our mitochondria are producing, the more energy we can have. So these red sauna bulbs would be great for you, I think, because they would help stimulate the production of more energy. And they're super warm. Like they're sitting at like 400 or 500 degrees. So sitting under them, like me, I start sweating and get really hot. For you, it might just help bring your body temperature up for a while. And actually, maybe I can just post here. Let's see, can I find it fast enough? Maybe I can't find it fast enough. Oh, Sauna Space, here we go. This is the company, saunaspace.com. Here I can put a link to these bulbs. These are the bulbs that I use. All right. And then I just have them in a, oh, this happened to me last time. The link is too long. All right, there you go. You can sit in front of the red lights for like 10 minutes, a half hour. I've had 2 of them on me for an hour at a time. I just kind of start to get too hot at that point, but maybe they could be better for you. I don't think there's any such thing as overdosing on infrared light, because really what it's doing is the infrared light is acting like a proxy for sunlight. We don't get nearly as much sunlight onto our skin as our ancestors did. And biologically, our body's expecting all this sunlight exposure that we're not getting. So yeah, I mean, I would think like an hour a day might be a good idea for you for the heat as well as for the energy production. And then I don't know if you know what a clamp light is, but yeah, I mean, you'd probably have to find one that ships to the UK. I don't know if this actually ships to the UK, but oh, I gotta find a shorter link. This whole link thing is annoying. All right, maybe this will work. And then what I do is I just pop them in clamp light, and then the clamp light has this clamp on it that you can put onto the side of the table, or you can put it onto like a lamppost or something, and you can just position it very easily to be on you while you're sitting in the bathroom, or you're on a couch, or like laying down in bed, or whatever works for you. So I would look into that, and they're pretty inexpensive. I mean, the clamp lights are like $10, $15 each. The bulbs are like $10 each. So I think it's a really inexpensive test to run to see if that helps you. I would give it a week or 2 of doing it every day for like an hour before judging whether or not it's working for you. But I know that they were very energy giving for me when I needed it. Yeah, awesome. All right, I've got a few more minutes left here. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to get on, because it's 8 a.m. for me here. So I always feel like no one's going to get on at 8 a.m. But people in the UK tend to. So I'm glad you're able to make it on, David. Oh, keep it fresh. Did I have problems with the autonomic nervous system? Your doctor told you have problems with that, and your blood vessels don't work well. Can you talk a little bit more about how your blood vessels aren't working well and what your symptoms are as a result of that? So what I did is I wanted to look up the definition of autonomic nervous system to share with everyone who may not be familiar with that. And the autonomic nervous system is a control system that acts unconsciously and regulates bodily functions. So things like your heart rate, your digestion, your respiratory rate. I guess the pupillary response, I don't know that I'm pronouncing that right, but I guess that's how your veins may like dilate and contract in response to body temperature regulation. It also impacts your urination and sexual arousal. Yeah, I mean, I definitely had issues with those things. I would have episodes of very rapidly beating heart rate, where my heart felt like it was going to pound out of my chest, even though I was doing nothing that would cause my heart rate to get high. My digestion has been exceptionally poor at times. I still live with very, very low stomach acid levels, meaning I need to supplement stomach acid every time I eat so that my body can break down food and I can get nutrients out of it. I ended up with many very severe nutrient deficiencies, partially as a result of this very low stomach acid. I also experienced IBS for 18 months. That's been completely cured for years now, which is great. Respiratory rate. Yeah, I mean, I definitely experienced respiratory issues when I had very severe chronic fatigue, especially when I would push too hard and go into a crash and experience that PEM, that post-exertional malaise. My breathing would get very hard and I would have a little bit of a wheeze happening. Yeah, so keep it fresh. Like what do you feel comfortable sharing like what symptoms are being caused by this autonomic nervous system dysfunction? Because that would help us understand what's going on there. I also want to say that like while I did experience autonomic nervous system symptoms, some dysregulation, there was nothing for me to do to treat the autonomic nervous system directly. My different parts of my body were malfunctioning because they didn't have certain things that they needed. And finding those root causes is how you can start moving forward on your healing journey. Like autonomic dysfunction is a symptom of a deeper root cause, if that makes sense. Like that's not why your body is malfunctioning. Your autonomic system is causing other parts of your body to malfunction because something else is causing your autonomic system to malfunction. Your body doesn't have some nutrient, or its balance is off, or you need some medication, or you need probably most likely a combination of like 20 different things that you're missing right now to help your autonomic system regulate itself again. So I'm sharing this because I see a lot of people get caught up in their diagnoses from their doctors, like, oh, you have autonomic dysregulation. Okay, well, oh my God, I have autonomic dysregulation. Let me learn about the nervous system. Let me learn about how to treat the nervous system, and so on and so forth. And I think that distracts us. I think for the most part, for most of us, not all, but most of us, these diagnoses take our focus off of root issues and actually delay and hinder the healing process because it stops our search. We think that this is the root cause of everything, when from what I've seen personally, for most of us, that's not the case. There are deeper issues that need to be addressed. And when we find those deeper issues and address those deeper issues, that's when we begin to see health recovery happen. All right. Got another couple minutes here. I'm going to keep it fresh another minute to maybe type of a response to what I said. I had some more questions there for keep it fresh. But I would continue focusing on what are the symptoms you have and how do you find a doctor who's going to be digging for root causes, not someone who stops at the first diagnosis of autonomic dysfunction. Hi, Ayush Sarnikar. Hello, how's it going? Let's see, I'll give it another minute for some new questions to roll in. Oh, let's see. All right, housekeeping item. and it's actually in the description of this video, is that next week's video has been moved. It was supposed to be next Tuesday, and now I've moved it to next Monday, August 26th. It's going to start at 1 p.m. EST. I believe that's going to be 6 p.m. In the UK. And there is a calendar link to that in the description of this video. After this video ends, you should be able to like refresh the page, and you'll see it like as like a normal YouTube video with the description and with the calendar link in there. And you can just click on that link, and then you can add that calendar reminder to your calendar so you don't miss it next Monday at 1 p.m. EST. All right, cool. Ayush, I was going to ask if you were Indian because I work with a lot of Indian people and your name sounded very Indian, but I didn't ask because I didn't want to be wrong. All right, guys, we're past half an hour here. If you have a question, if you could just type me like the letter Q, and I can wait some more time while you finish typing it out, that would be cool. If not, I'm going to hop off here pretty soon and be really excited to meet with you guys next week. As a reminder, I am going to be on a hiatus for the next 3 to 6 months, which is super exciting for me. And I will have more time to spend on this channel. And I'm trying to decide how I spend that time on this channel. And I would love to hear from you guys. What do you want from me? Do you want more live Q&As? Do you want me to go back to just posting videos like I used to, where I just kind of talked at you about something? Do you want more meditations? Do you want to hear more about my story? Do you want coaching from me? Do you want some sort of like community where you guys can meet up and interact on a regular basis? Like, don't tell me all of it. Tell me your top 2. What would you like to see from me? Or if there's some other idea you have, I want to hear it while I'm planning out how to celebrate the life I've created for myself health-wise. Ayush, I work in software as a consultant. I'm a product manager, project manager, software consultant. Although I hope to be leaving that part of my world behind, and I hope to be moving into some other career after this hiatus is over. Part of the hiatus is for me to figure out, what do I really want to do? What's going to make me fulfilled in this next chapter of my life? So, all right. Awesome. Thanks for joining, guys. As always, sending you love and health. I'm Kristen. Real quick, Ayush, you're 15 and you would like to see some videos on meditation. All right, Ayush, I recommend looking through my channel. I definitely have some meditation videos in there. Actually, you know what? Let me take another minute. I'm going to go ahead and look up a couple meditation videos for you and link them here because I know I have a couple. And let's see. All right, looks like I've got 4 videos on meditation in my channel here, and I'm going to link them all right here for you to go through. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. All right. 4 meditation videos. There's one. There's 2. There's 3. Oh, are those? I think those might have gone through with a timestamp. Excuse me. Just reset it to the beginning. But are you already subscribed? Awesome. Glad to hear it. Of course. And let's see. There you go. 4 videos on meditation. What I would do is I'm about to end this live stream. And what I would do is I would open each of those now. So you just have the links open so you can still access them after I close this, because otherwise you'll have to go back into the video and wait for that point in the chat, I think. So you're a great procrastinator. Well, I'm going to encourage you not to procrastinate on this one and to watch one of those meditation videos today. All right? The sooner you start working on your health, the sooner you're going to start experiencing it. All right, awesome video. Nice to meet you, Ayush. David, so glad you joined. We had a great conversation, and I really think our conversation is going to help some other people who watch it later. So it's all good. Nothing's off topic. Love you guys. Okay, bye.